Hello and welcome to Weekly Weird News, brought into you by Cutting to the Bull in the post-truth apocalypse. I'm Ben, and as always I'm hanging out with Mike.
Hello.
Claire.
Hey.
And Pete. Hey. And this is Weekly Weird News, a show where we find the weirdest shit we found on the net this week anyway, and present it to you in a sort of rundown style format that we just think is... Well, this is all the weird... There's usually some aliens in there. We'll start with aliens, by the way.
There is if you're picking it.
Always is. Because there's always alien news, Mike, because the aliens are real and they're visiting us.
And they're close.
And they're close, they're coming to us. And I, for one, welcome our new alien overlords, because quite frankly, they couldn't do a worse job than the shit we've got now, could they?
Well, you won't be saying that when you're toiling in the gold mines.
Put me in the gold mines, Mike. It's a steady job and an income. Although health and safety and those electro whips are a bit harsh.
Nutritious slime every day.
Ooh, that sweet, sweet, nutritious slime. All the nutrients a body needs. Now, documentary filmmaker Jeremy Corbell, I listened to this podcast, that's why I included it on the show, says he has seen video proof that US military fighters shoot at and engage UFOs on a weekly and sometimes daily basis.
Well, that's already been spilled, hasn't it? They said they encountered these things.
Shoot at them.
Okay, yeah. A bit different. Go on then.
That's very typical American though, isn't it? Let's face it, shoot first, questions later.
Hell yeah.
It's their military policy, isn't it?
Yeah.
If they shoot it down, they've got something to research and work on, haven't they?
Yeah.
Well, they haven't.
Like in
They've never
1947.
found anything.
It's a new one, not the old one that crashed in 47. They've upgraded now.
I think they have got exotic materials.
They do have
They've
exotic
hinted at it, haven't
materials.
they?
Yeah, they have. The To the Stars Academy said they were examining some.
Yeah.
One's passion fruit, one's pineapple. Very
The
exotic.
problem is with the To the Stars Academy now is they're now working for the government. The government gave them a contract to look at this exotic material for them, so they're on the government pay list now. You won't find anything anymore.
I wonder if we'll ever find out about it.
Maybe
Nope.
one day.
To quote Jeremy Corbell, he says, "I've seen the logs, I've seen the videos," Mr. Corbell said in a 2-minute video interview aired May 22nd, 2022 on the show Unexplained with Howard Hughes,
I
which
listened
is
to this.
a great show.
I listened to this exact episode
Yeah.
as well, yeah.
I'll give Howard a shout out. He inspired me to get into podcasting. He'll never listen to this, but I'll, Mr. Corbell added that these engagements occur every week as a result of the United States mission to protect its ground troops throughout the planet from UFOs' repeated surveillance and penetrating of US airspace. When asked if the UFOs shoot back, Mr. Corbell refused to answer, but did say, quote, "UAPs take no overt aggressive action against US planes," end quote. So the UFOs, or the UAPs, take no aggressive action, but we're trying to shoot them down.
They've probably got some sort of force field, or we can't, they're too fast that we can't even hit them, so they're not worried about it.
I think that's probably the case, Claire, is that our missiles just aren't fast enough. I mean, even our one,
Technology's not forward enough to compete, is it, clearly?
the fastest anti-tank missile, for example, that the West has is the British Starstreak, I think it is. It goes like Mach 7, something ridiculous like that. So, that's if that's the fastest, then I guarantee that the ones that are playing are as fast as that. And
What's that in miles an hour? A couple of thou?
well, it's 7 times over the speed of sound, so yeah. Mr. Corbell said it was presumptuous to identify UAPs as extraterrestrial or interdimensional. He said, quoting him, "We don't know where they come from, but we do know these are machines." Mr. Corbell said he also offered to testify and prove his claims in front of Congress as a witness in a congressional hearing. He's the guy that released the film about Bob Lazar on Netflix.
Which was terrible.
But because Bob Lazar is such a boring bastard.
No, I just don't like the way he did the documentary, thought it was crap.
Are you guys familiar with Bob Lazar?
No.
Right, Bob Lazar claimed that he worked at Area 51 back engineering alien craft.
He came out in 89, was it?
Something like that.
This was the first time anyone had ever heard of Area 51. It comes from him.
It was known about, but this was when
this is when it broke
it broke it big, yeah.
Became legitimate.
Yeah, it was when it broke it big. It pushed it more into the public consciousness. It had always been there, And it was always known in the small, remember, pre-internet days, the UFO community would have been tiny and spread out.
There was a speculation, wasn't it?
But everyone knew that there were these strange, the strange dancing lights in the sky. You can go to the
Yeah, but the normal man didn't know this in the street.
No, the normal man in the street had no idea. You had to be into this shit to know about it.
But in '89 that all changed.
Yeah,
It was all
that
over
changed
the
when
news.
Bob Lazar came out and said, I've been back engineering alien technology at Area 51, or specifically the satellite site Groom Lake. Bob Lazar, for a man who's done that, and you know me, love an alien. Don't I? I'm a slut for aliens.
Yeah.
Right? God, he's so boring. It's like, mate, you've worked on extraterrestrial craft, you've back engineered them, you're a nuclear scientist.
Why I throat foaming at
Why
the
aren't you a
mouth?
little bit more excited about this whole scenario?
Well, he's bored of talking about it for after
Oh, but it's
30
his
years.
living, Mike. It's his living.
Yeah, but it isn't his living.
It is his living. It's
No, it
what he
isn't.
does. He's now exclusively on the UFO market. He's selling
Maybe
stuff
now,
to
but for
Netflix.
30 years he wasn't. He went back to being a scientist, owning his
What,
own
he-
business, didn't he?
He went back
Radiation.
to being. It's a CCTV. He was security. He got arrested for putting security cameras in a strip club in the
Yeah.
wrong parts of the strip club.
But then he went to radiation detectors, didn't he? That was his job for a long time.
That's right. He was making radiation detectors. I mean, of course, he has no background in scientific education because in his claims that the government has erased his background.
Yeah.
They can't find any records of him going to college because he's meant to have been to MIT.
But the investigative
And all that.
reporter, Robert Knapp, is it?
Yeah, or George Knapp.
George Knapp, that's it.
George Knapp.
Yeah.
Robert Norrie, George Knapp.
He
Coast to
claims
Coast FM.
he spoke to people that know that he was there at the time,
Right.
even though this information has been deleted apparently.
Well, so, obviously,
I
it's
said
claimed.
apparently.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying. Okay, yeah, so would they shoot him down? Yeah, they're shadow of a doubt. Of course they would. Think of the technology leap. These things are doing stuff our top fighters can't. I mean, they're pretty chasing with F-35s, which are like slight stealth and vertical takeoff, so they're like the evolution of the Harrier, a stealth Harrier. Think of it that way, but obviously a lot more modern, tech-wise, what it's carrying, you know, all that. They cost something like 35 billion each, or no, it's not that much. They cost a lot of money. It costs like 35 billion to develop the damn things, I think.
Yeah, the Yanks are well known for
What's the
shooting.
model again?
The F-35. I think it cost 35 billion to develop that plane, and they probably cost a couple of billion each, or if not a billion each. They're a fair bit, but yeah. So you got them, and they can't keep up, and they can't shoot down what this is. So in the US military's mind, they're like, well, holy shit, we can't even protect our own airspace anymore.
Yeah.
That then erodes public confidence in the military, which means the military-industrial... What if it's all a set-up by the military-industrial complex to create a non-existent arms race?
Yep.
So you think, well,
There is that
we've
theory.
got these things that are flying around in our airspace. We don't know what it is. We need stuff to match that. The military-industrial complex then gets a lot of money
Yep.
to try and get stuff that matches that.
Look
and
at
then
Space Force.
Space Force.
Yeah.
Right, so the cost of one is about just under 80 million.
80 million quid.
The F-35 program is expected to cost taxpayers a total of 1.7 trillion.
Wow.
Trillion!
That's from development to final production.
Final
then.
production, but 1.7 trillion's worth of money has gone into the program for the
Yeah.
F-35 Lightning.
Yeah, that's a... God, you could solve all the problems in the fucking world with that kind of money.
Looks good.
It's a fucking sexy plane though.
It is, isn't it?
I do find it quite lovely, and it has the same technologies. Well, not the same technology, but similar technology to the jump jet, doesn't it?
Yeah, the VTOL, yeah.
Yeah,
It's basically the
awesome.
upgraded Harrier. When we scrapped the Harrier, this is the replacement for it.
And they called it Lightning.
I think it's a throwback to the
Lightning.
original RAF Lightning, isn't it? Because it's the most modern thing we've got now.
Yeah,
And that was the most
cool.
modern thing we had then. But yeah, there we go. So do you think they're trying to shoot him down?
Yeah,
Of course they are.
They would do if they see something.
The Yanks
gonna-
are well known for shooting their own friendly
The
troops.
Yanks?
Yeah.
The Yanks? You mean the Americans?
Why them damn Yankees?
No, I don't even... I just think it's like... They want the tech, don't they? These things are running rings round us. They want it. Claire?
They want to find out about it for sure.
Yeah.
They're prodding a fucking bee's nest, though, aren't they? Let's face it.
Next thing you know, it's Independence Day, but that
No.
apparently is the final card to play for them and create the one world government is an alien invasion. That's where we're at now on the card scale, apparently. Card 7, alien invasion's next.
Cool.
Okay for that, everybody.
Okay for that?
Bloke ridiculed as creepy and scary after splashing out 12.5k to become a
Oh,
dog.
what the fuck?
I saw this.
What a costume,
Oh
though!
my god, he really does look like a dog.
Yep.
It's like Lassie.
Yep. It's mad, isn't it?
Is this like one of these furry outfits?
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah.
Twitter user at Toko Evie, who goes by Toko, has transformed himself into a collie thanks to his incredible work of bespoke costume makers. Since receiving his new four-legged look last month, Toko from Japan has launched a YouTube channel showing off tricks such as fetch and playing ping pong with his paw.
Is it a surprise that he's from Japan?
No.
Yeah. Not in the slightest.
No, it's. I don't know why. It's just, you know, if I hadn't have read this and I read the headline, I'd have gone Japanese or German. What would your picks be?
Probably,
Japanese.
Yeah.
Japanese.
No one's going for Germans as a backup.
That would be a German Shepherd, wouldn't it?
Oh, true, true, very true. I like it.
My brother-in-law
Would like to dress as a dog.
is a furry, and he's got a
No
wolf.
way.
He's a wolf called Mithras.
No way.
White and
So,
luminous green.
He's named himself after an ancient Mediterranean god, and he dresses as a wolf.
Yeah.
Do they have a zip for your dick to come
It
out?
cost him over $1,000.
No, but do they have a zip
Go
for your
around
dick?
it.
To conventions.
Oh yeah, they all meet up. They have.
Don't know.
I need to know.
That's your question.
Can you ask him? I'm
Don't
intrigued.
want to. I don't like
Do
talking
them,
about it with him.
rubberhead dog go to the same convention?
I don't-
No, they're all furries. That's the thing. They've all got fur.
Oh right, you
But
can't
they
be a
like
latex.
they all
one.
get
No,
like
no,
funny
no.
with each other and that as well, and get all a bit sexy and things, and on some occasions.
They have a thing called a fur pile where they just all basically pile on top of each other and rub against each other.
They sniff each other's arses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they're dogs, yeah, they would. Yeah.
They act like
They act like the animals. Yeah.
animals.
So who is it again? Your brother-in-law?
yeah.
If he was there in his wolf costume and he sees like a lady wolf, he will like crawl up and like sniff her ass,
Start
and that will
howl-
show her that
start
she's
howling
interested.
at her.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and then it finds
I've watched a
out
little
it's
bit on it. I'm familiar with. I'm not a furry, by the way. Just, I like exploring the human sexual psyche because it's fascinating. I like looking into different things like kinks
You
and
do.
stuff like that because I find it fascinating. It was, I mean, at the start of our evolution, that wasn't a thing. No one thought, you know what?
No.
I wish I was a fucking dog. It was just like fuck, hunt, live, survive, and because we've got more luxury time now than we've ever, well, I say we've ever had. I suppose we haven't. We used to work a lot less, but in our luxury time, we're all looking for something, and someone thought, you know what? Fancy being a dog.
Saying that,
Why not?
I've thought about buying a mermaid's tail. And, you know,
So
taking
you're
it to the
being a
beach.
mermaid.
Yeah, taking it to the pool, but you're not allowed them in pools and stuff. You've got to go to special sessions.
Yeah,
because,
shocking.
You know, your feet are sort of
So,
like.
are they anti-mermaidist?
Well, they're seeing it as your feet are sort of strapped in this device, aren't they?
I guess that it could be a hazard, a drowning hazard
That's
for a
what
lot of
they're a bit,
people. Because
yeah.
if you're not a strong enough swimmer,
Yeah.
you need like a class before you put the mermaid tail on, wouldn't you?
Weird, anyway. Fucking weird.
It's strange to you. Come on, like Psycho.
Yeah, 12,500 quid it's cost him.
Mad. There's
But-
much better things you could spend your moolah on, isn't there?
I've seen a lovely tail for 70
Fuck me,
odd quid.
it's convincing, isn't it?
It's very convincing. I mean, obviously it looks a bit fake, but it's still pretty damn good. I mean, yeah, you know what? That's actually pretty good. You see the close-ups, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really good.
But the firm that does it literally makes stuff for films.
Yeah.
Only the size perspective, you know, if you were
Yeah.
close and personal.
But you do get collies that big when he's on all fours. There, I've seen. I don't know this perspective, but collies are quite a big dog. They're not as big as that. Actually, thinking about it, could be a very big collie.
Lassie wasn't small.
Lassie was not small. You're right. Either way, whatever, man. You ain't hurting nobody.
No.
Yeah,
Let him be his dog.
yeah,
Why
it's
not?
good. Right then, moving on. Ted Cruz has enforced more Ted Cruz? Who's he?
He is the senator for Texas.
Yep.
Republican senator for Texas.
Right, okay. Has enforced more rules on dildo than assault rifles.
Yeah, Ted Cruz once cooked bacon on an AR-15
Yep.
and ate it.
Never.
Yeah.
And a campaign ad, no less.
Yeah, campaign.
We're looking at it now.
That's right, yeah.
I'd eat that bacon.
What, by shooting?
Yeah.
He wraps the bacon around the barrel.
He wraps the bacon around the barrel, wraps the foil around the bacon, fires off a full mag on fully auto, and then eats the bacon.
That's
That was
how I
the
make my bacon sandwiches.
That was the campaign ad. They're insane.
Ridiculous. Fucking ridiculous.
This is also the guy that
I want some gun bacon.
I have very little time for Ted Cruz because he just became Trump's cook. I mean, Trump, in the debates for the Republican nomination, Cruz always runs.
Yeah.
Obviously, Trump won. And Trump basically just insulted Cruz's wife and said she was ugly.
Yeah.
And then later on, Cruz is just basically sucking Trump's ass.
Yeah, there's a photo of him. He was doing a telethon for him.
Yeah.
Something.
He called his wife ugly, and then all he does is, suck his dick after. He was a bit of a cook for him, but... Right, go on, sorry, carry on with that.
So in Texas, it's illegal to own more than 6 dildos, but you can carry a gun in public with no training on how to use it, and people can't make sense of this.
I want to know who goes around checking the 6 dildos. Is there a special division of the police called the Dildo Squad?
Dildo division.
Like, knock on the door, Dildo Division, open up!
We need to check how many dildos
We need
you've
to
got.
send you inside the house, we heard you had 7 dildos.
And they dressed in pink plastic uniforms.
Why the fuck not? Yeah, why not?
Guys, today we've got a raid. We've heard this household has 14 dildos.
It's our biggest haul ever if it's true.
Jimmy, Scott, come with me. This one's a big one.
Yeah, there's like this massive, like, fucking horse dong dildo, like, with a suction cup at the bottom, stuck on the side of the cabinet, like, stay back, can go off at any moment.
It just shows the ridiculousness.
They call in a guy in the fucking, in the Hurt Locker gear to go and take it out. Put it in a case.
It is just ridiculous though, isn't it? Like, how the fuck can somebody put a law on that when people are running around with fucking automatic rifles? Ridiculous.
Yeah, in the aftermath of the
What a prick.
horrifying elementary school shooting in the state that left 21 people dead, people around the world are asking for gun laws in the state and across the country to be tightened. As per the Washington Post last year, Texas actually loosened its gun law by passing a, what's that?
Permitless carry.
Permitless carry. Allowing anyone in the state to carry a gun in public without having any formal training. That's just...
Or background check.
That's
Ridiculous.
terrible, isn't it?
Yep.
Fucking redonkulous.
Anybody over the age of 21 can have it as well, so...
That's ridiculous. You get a licence by being fingerprinted and doing 4 to 6 hours of training, completing an exam and doing a proficiency test. That's how you get your gun licence.
Yeah, but in Texas you don't even need that.
Some places you'll go and you'll buy a car and they'll be like that. You get a free rifle with the car.
Michael Moore's documentary Bowling for Columbine, have you ever seen that?
Yes.
He goes into a bank
Yeah.
at the very start of it.
Right,
In Texas,
yeah,
And they're like, if you open a bank account,
Don't
you
they
get a
give them a
free
shotgun or
get a
something?
free a rifle or a
Rifle,
shotgun.
innit? Yeah.
I think he chooses the rifle because
Yeah.
he was the state shooting champion for
Yeah.
Michigan, wasn't he? Might be in Michigan actually,
It might be.
because he goes back to the state,
Yeah.
doesn't he? He says, "My name used to be on that sign, state shooting champion." And he goes into a bank, and they say, "Right, okay." They open a bank. Obviously, they do a very brief background check, make sure he's not a criminal. And go, "Okay, sir, hang on, we'll just get you a rifle." They give it to him with ammunition, obviously. So there's your rifle. And then later on, he's like, "Oh, I open a bank account, put like $30 in it, I get a free rifle." Then he goes to the hairdressers, gets a haircut, and they are literally like, "I'll have a box of that ammunition there." And they like get the box out, and he starts loading the fucking rifle. He's like, "Oh yeah, that's good ammo, that's smooth action, you know, because obviously ammunition, quality of ammunition depends on the reliability of the weapon as much as anything, as cleanliness." And he's just loading it in the hairdresser's have his haircut. And that's fine, it's mental. But we as Brits can't comprehend that.
Nope.
No.
But for an American, that's a way of life.
Yeah.
I had this discussion with my housemate. If you transported the founding fathers forward in time and said, right, you know that bare arms bit in the Constitution? Do you think that these are a bit excessive? Or because you only had muskets, and a musket's like, if you're a trained soldier, 4 to 5 rounds a minute. These can fire 30 rounds in 2 seconds. Do you think they'd agree with keeping them, or do you think they would say no? You'd have to explain to them the state of the British Empire. We're not going to invade America anymore. We're beyond that now. We're a long way beyond that. We're not going to launch a surprise attack and take America. We can barely sort our own fucking country out. Never mind invading the world's largest superpower. Do you think they might relent a little bit and go, maybe they shouldn't have them? Maybe give everyone a musket.
The problem is inside now, isn't it? Let's face it. It's not about outside threats anymore. It's about inside threats, because that's the paranoia of it all now.
But the gun,
it clearly says,
but the guns make the inside threat more deadly, because you've got militias who are quite anti-government in some cases.
Yeah, but it does say a well-regulated militia.
It does.
Regulated.
Yeah.
Gun control. Actually says it in the wording. And it's all about a militia, not everybody having unlimited amount of guns.
I thought it was literally this: every citizen has the right to bear arms.
Nope. A well-regulated militia. That's what it says.
That's the way it's been interpreted.
Yeah, they've twisted it over time to fit their own agenda.
Ah, well, there's amendments, isn't there? So they've amended it.
Yeah, damn right. But yeah.
But the real tragedy of this is that the fact that the gun makers keep just getting more money.
The real tragedy is you can't have more than 6 bloody dildos. And up until 2007, that Ted Cruz was looking to ban it. You know, they only overturned it in 2008.
Well,
we can all say that Ted Cruz is a cunt.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Trying to ban sexual AIDS, what a dick.
Yeah.
Yeah, loves guns.
Yeah.
Can own a gun but not a dildo.
Ridiculous.
Yep.
Engineers develop an enzyme that can break down plastic in hours, not centuries. Well, that's a bit of a game changer, isn't it?
Yeah, that's good.
It also creates cancer.
Probably.
That would be the downside.
While plastic usually takes hundreds of years to decompose, scientists have developed an enzyme that could shorten that time to mere hours. Engineers at the University of Texas in Austin have been working on solutions to the polyethylene
Plastic
problem, exactly, which currently accounts for 12% of the Earth's global waste. The polymer is found in bottles, packaging and textiles, and now they may have found the solution, dubbing their discovery Fast Pet Ass. Functional, active, stable and tolerant PETAS PETAs. The team believes the enzyme could be used in landfill sites, and it's able to operate efficiently at ambient temperatures, meaning the applications are widespread. Now, the possibilities are endless across industries to leverage this leading-edge recycling process, said Hal Apper, professor in the Maketa Department of Chemical Engineering at UT Austin. Quoting him, he says, beyond the obvious waste management industry, this also provides corporations from every sector the opportunity to take a lead in recycling their products. End quote. And again, through the more sustainable enzyme approaches, we can begin to envision a true circular plastics economy, he added in the Nature Journal.
Wonder what it's giving off though, because as any enzymes are working on something.
When are they going to try and put it into the world's fucking waters? And then it's going to create something that nobody thought of.
This is a recycling thing. So the enzyme was developed from a natural PETase that allows bacteria to degrade the plastic of 51 different post-consumer plastic containers. Scientists are able to modify the PETase by using machine learning to pinpoint 5 mutations that would enable it to degrade the plastic faster under different environmental conditions. In a process known as depolymerization, the enzyme works by breaking down the plastic into smaller parts and then reforming them through depolymerization to produce new plastic products. In some trials, the enzyme breaks down the plastic into its organic modules known as monomers in under 24 hours. So recycling just got a makeover.
Cool.
Cool. Let's hope it works out and it's all safe.
Yeah, if it's not kicking out some other gas that's going to fuck us up.
Wouldn't it be easy to just stop using plastic?
Well, yeah.
Well, that would be nice. Get the hemp out.
Seaweed and hemp.
Then we risk over farming seaweed and hemp.
No, that's the brilliance of it. You can grow loads of seaweed. It's a plant. It takes in CO2.
Yeah.
More
Yeah.
better than trees on land, I think.
Same with hemp.
Yeah.
Same with
Fast
hemp.
growing.
Hemp's grow fat,
Weed
fast growing,
plants,
yeah.
man. They're wicked.
Well, either way, that's a massive boost.
Yeah, it is good. Virgin Flight turns back to replace pilot who had not done final flying test.
Oh my word.
Fantastic. Well, not fantastic if you're a passenger.
You'd shit, wouldn't you?
Well, he wouldn't tell you.
The Airbus A330 jet was nearly 40 minutes into its journey to New York on Monday when the two pilots on board became aware of the rostering error, the airline said. Flight VS3 had reached the skies of Ireland before returning to Heathrow, touching down more than 1.5 hours after it took off. A replacement for the first officer was found and the plane departed again for New York. Virgin Atlantic insists that safety was not compromised.
So they sent it out with like two secondary pilots, or
No, I think just the first officer, maybe.
Yeah, the first officer had not completed his final flying test.
He was fully qualified under UK aviation regulations, though.
Well, that doesn't bode well, does it?
Clearly not the American, or maybe there's a separate one. But he was qualified to fly in the UK.
Huh?
Oh, that's a bit
And then
shady
he was
then.
like, said to the pilot, like, so where are we going, mate? New York. What? I can't fly to New York. What the fuck? what plane am I on?
It's actually part of the airline's internal requirements. So even though the law says that he doesn't need a final assessment flight, the airline has added that into their requirements. So although it was lawful, it wasn't good enough for their standards.
I got you.
Good.
It's not quite as bad as the headline makes it out to be.
No.
That is a headline, isn't it?
No, because I was expecting to be like some guy who used to fly a croc duster 20 years ago. And he's just like dressed as a pilot, and they're like, "Come on, you, in you come." I can fly. I'm a pilot. Exactly. And then he's like, "Oh man, I only flew jets in Nam. I've never done this before. This is a big." And he's like trying to do a whip loop the loop. He's trying to swing up and down and shit. And they're like, "What are you doing?" "Oh, I never passed a test.
Baby can do.
I've never passed a test. What are you about? I haven't passed the final test. So shit, get back." The Irish Air Force is shadowing it, thinking it's been hijacked because its cores is all over the place.
It must be frightening for the passengers though to realise halfway through the flight you're going to come back.
What would they say? Usually,
Technical error.
Technical error. We've got to go back.
Yeah.
They'd have read about it after.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, when you're up there, man, your life's in their hands.
Yep.
That's the only fear I have of flying, is I'm not in control of my own destiny to a point. You know, it's like my life's in their hands here.
More likely
If one of them
to be
goes
run
rogue,
over.
I'm fucked. And it has happened.
Yep.
You're more likely to be run over.
You are, I know, but you know, you're still up there in the sky. I mean, at least if I get hit by a car, I'm landed on terra firma no more than a few feet away. It's not better than 30,000 feet away from the ground, is it?
Okay, moving on.
Yep.
Finally.
Time traveller claims apocalypse is coming in months in baffling prediction.
Is this a TikTok time traveller?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
So-called time traveller also claims that a new creature called stalkers will be discovered along with the ground in the US, splitting in and millions disappearing in an apocalyptic warning. An apocalyptic warning from so-called time traveller has been shared online by a user on TikTok who claims to have a leaked document to prove it. The user gives chilling and baffling information on events that are supposed to start this summer, including new deadly creatures called stalkers being discovered.
That sounds terrifying, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Carly Leonard, who is also known as the Hidden God 1, claims in the short video grounds in the US will split with millions of people vanishing.
He hasn't got a God complex, has he?
No. And the fact that he isn't even the original hidden god.
Along with sharing terrifying images relating to each event, there are specific dates that people have been urged to remember between July and October. It seems as though the first event, which will be called Great Split, will happen on 14th of July, day before my birthday. Aww.
I wouldn't put that deposit down just yet, Pete.
That's right, it's in America. We'll be alright. On August the 9th, over 2 million people will mysteriously disappear before the new creature called stalkers will emerge on October the 3rd. Okay. So far, the video has received 450,000 likes and starts by saying, "Warning, a leaked document from Time Traveller has warned us to remember these dates, 2022.
Well, that stalker there is just the fucking demon from Hellboy 1. Put in a sepia pose. Sepia, what do they say? Sepia or sepia?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of these TikTok. This time traveller is going to predict these, remember these dates. Yeah, bollocks.
But we should be writing these down. Don't I say that every time?
Yeah.
Well, that's about it then for that, really, then. Only Allah knows what will happen. Please protect us.
One
Someone
commenter,
wrote.
yeah. God will make sure we're safe at third upon. Yes, that'll happen. Yes, of course it will.
Yeah. If he's the one that caused the apocalypse, then...
Well,
Watch out for them damn stalkers.
yeah.
watch out for the stalkers, indeed. I mean, even though that was the demon from Hellboy 1.
Sounds like a Hollywood movie to me.
Oh man, it's too many TikTok time travelers for my liking. All this shit should have happened by now. It hasn't.
Do you think the stalkers are going to emerge from the
The shattered
centre of the earth when the ground opens up in America? The earthquake?
Oh yeah, shit. So it'll be like that Love, Death and Robots episode where the ground
Yeah.
opens up and all the demons come out, the secret war.
That's what it is, isn't it? He's watched that, hasn't he?
He's watched that and fucking thought that's a good idea. We'll have that. Yeah. By the way, that's a fantastic episode. It's World War II era Russian soldiers fighting demon dogs.
Well, what it sounds like is War of Tomorrow.
Oh, that's a good movie. Tomorrow War, you mean?
Tomorrow War, yes.
Yeah, that's a good
what that
movie.
sounds like to me.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that movie's an underrated
Good film. Yeah, I
gem,
enjoyed it.
actually.
I enjoyed it. Chris Pratt was good in it.
Yeah,
Solid film, isn't it?
exactly. You know,
Nothing bad what really
it's
was there.
a time travel alien war movie. What's not to like about it? You know it's going to be a bit dumb. It's got time travel and aliens in it. Of course, you know it's going to be a bit dumb, but it worked. It was action. It worked.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Sweet.
I'd say we're out of it then. Thank you very much for listening. I've been Ben, and please, US government, don't try and shoot down UFOs. You may inadvertently trigger an interstellar war.
Yep. I've been Mike, thanks for listening. Peace out. May the force be with you.
And I've been Claire. Make sure you hide your 6 dildos, well, or more.
Yeah. If you're in Texas.
Yeah, if you live in Texas, hide them dildos.
I've been Pete. Aim high, shoot low.